All right. In the previous video, we understood the impact or the effect of lack of respect of time at a personal level. In this episode, we want to see the lack of respect of time at the national level and then at the corporate level. The value of 1 hour cannot be compared to 200 bars of gold. As a nation, we pride ourselves as, being one of the leading producers of cocoa at a global level and part of the leading producers of gold also at a global level. But I want to shock you and make you understand that the value of 1 hour cannot be compared to 500 tons of gold, because time is so precious that when it is missed, it is going to cost a whole lot. So at the national level, what do we stand to miss as we don't respect time? 1, reduce productivity. Productivity is a function of time. And if we don't respect time, then productivity is also going to be affected. Is it therefore a wonder that we don't produce much at our workplaces, especially at the public sectors? We are sleeping over the jobs and we don't care. Why don't we care? We don't care because we are numb to the consequence of these things. So the first thing is that productivity is going to be affected at the national level, and cumulative lack of productivity or inadequate productivity, it is going to lead to economic crisis. Productivity comes with money, and if we are wasting time through disregard for time, lateness to work, leaving very early around 2 p.m. whilst we should be closing at 5 p.m., giving all kinds of excuses and stuff like that, what happens at the end of the day is that we are going to produce a kind of system like we have in Ghana and like we have in Africa or in most African countries. Poor productivity. And poor productivity is going to affect the economic stand of the nation. And then that weakened economic stand is going to increase the corporate crisis and pressure on the people. And this is also going to bring about the loose kind of living. So the consequence of that is going to be street children. The consequence of that is going to be armed robbery. The consequence of that is going to be, prostitution, because we are going to have high levels of unemployment. And then it is also going to lead to corruption. Because we are having economic crisis, each one or everyone is striving. Inti ene Ghana obia nye ni no de sino. Adam because obia so ayeshi. It is because of some of these things. So see the carbon chain or the cascade that these things go through. Lack of respect for time at the national level, at the corporate level, is going to lead to reduced or low productivity. Low productivity is also going to lead to what? Economic pitfalls. Economic pitfalls will lead to national crisis. National crisis will produce symptoms like unemployment, prostitution, armed robbery, streetism, etc., etc. And then part of it is going to create a cartel that will give themselves to corruption, because at the end of the day, everyone is struggling for himself. What is popularly known as each one for himself, God for us all. And it is because of the cascade that ultimately falls on our lack of respect for time and then human life. Lack of respect for time or lack of value for human life will produce contractors that are going to, ply roads that are not quality. Because at the end of the day, say 3 months in Swoto, na say a wash a kwan na emfa obia ho uwu a emfa me ho unyemi busuani. Lack of value for human life is going to produce the kind of prison system that we have, by treating prisoners to be subhuman and almost like animalistic. It is sad, but it is the truth that Brony even takes care of the animal much more better than we take care of our fellow citizens in the prison yard. And that is why, many people were hailing the efforts of our beloved Christian Achu for what he stood for by helping the liberation of several prisoners. Lack of value for human life is going to produce a kind of religion that is going to be adversarial, always chasing after enemies and then killing them, calling fire and brimstone onto their heads, because once they perish and then I am successful, I don't care. Lack of value for human lives is going to cause leaders that are going to give themselves to corruption, because at the end of the day, corruption kills many people than even wars, but it doesn't bother them. Lack of value for human lives will create the weakness of our healthcare systems, that it has now become death traps, because when you go there, you can just die and nobody cares. These and many more are several examples that presents us the negative effects as a result of our lack of respect for time and then the value for human lives. We have seen these effects at the personal and then at the corporate level and at the national level. With a set of videos that we are yet to do, that will come your way as well, we will now be focusing on the main subject. We have seen the cause, we have seen the effect, and now the question is, what is the solution? How do we go from here? How do we imbibe, or how do we cut time consciousness and value for human life into our cultural DNA? This is going to be the focus for the next set of episodes. Join in these conversations. Let us know what you think down there in our comments. Mind you that we are committed and we believe that Ghana and Africa is going to make it. We have a world to shake. We have a continent to liberate. We have a nation to save. And definitely we have a church to reform. Stay blessed.